I felt like the world was crumbling beneath me.
Right.
I didn't know what else to do, so one Sunday I got up and asked for prayer. I told the church I was going through some things and just felt like I didn't know what to do next.
All right.
Pastor Davidson got up right after I requested prayer, and he looked at me and said, "It sounds like you need to sing." And he told me when you're down and you're going through life's troubles to grab a hymn book and sing. That night after I got home, I got in the shower, and whenever I take a shower, I listen to music.
All right.
I decided to change it up this time and listen to an old hymn.
All right.
I normally listen to like Marvin Sapp or some Donnie McClurkin or maybe a little Fred Hammond, Yolanda Adams, or Kirk Franklin.
All right.
You know, all the mainstream stuff. But I decided to listen to an old hymn.
All right.
I played Falling in Love with Jesus and put it on repeat.
All right.
No sooner than the water started to flow from the shower head, the tears started to flow from my eyes. The chorus is this song is "Falling in Love with Jesus is the best thing I've ever done."
All right.
And then the songwriter goes on to say, "In his arms I feel protected.
Yeah.
In his arms never disconnected.
All right.
In his arms I feel protected. There's no place I'd rather be."
All right.
And as I sung along, I cried in the shower. I must have sat in the shower for about 45 minutes crying and singing along to the song. But when I got out of the shower, I no longer felt defeated. I no longer felt like I was in this thing alone. I felt like I had somebody else with me, somebody that couldn't lose a battle, somebody that had brought me to this point, and I knew he wasn't going to leave me there.
All right.
I knew Jesus was with me. So after that, whenever I ran into hard times, I'd get on Apple Music and pull out some old time hymns.
All right.
I'd listen to songs like "Do Not Pass Me By," or "I Need Thee," or "Victory Is Mine," "I Love You Jesus," "Amazing Grace," or "Precious Lord." When things got really hard, I went to songs that dealt with the cross, like "At the Cross," or "Are You Washed in the Blood?" I know it was the blood. Songs like the blood would never lose its power.
All right.
Songs that had power. Songs that reminded me that everything would be okay. Because my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ went to Calvary and gave his life on an old rugged cross so that I could have peace. He gave up his life so that I could have life everlasting.
Yeah.
So I've come to tell you that Jesus is the best friend you could ever have.
Yes.
And I want to show you a small snippet of the goodness of Jesus.
All right.
And you might be asking, well, what makes Jesus so good?
All right.
Well, there are several things in this text that speaks to the goodness of Jesus.
All right.
First off, we have creation. The text says he was in the world and the world was made by him.
All right.
He was in the world.
Yeah.
Who was in the world?
Who?
The text is referring to the Son of God.
All right.
If you go up to verses 1 through 3, it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him. Without him was not anything made."
All right.
That was made. So this is telling us that the Son of God was with God in the beginning.
All right.
The beginning is before the heaven and the earth. The Father and the Son was together in the beginning.
All right.
Also, the Son was with the Father during creation.
All right.
It tells you right here in the text, if you look at verses 3, all things were made by him. And without him was not anything made that was made.
All right.
So we are talking about the Son of God, also known as the Word.
All right.
What was another name for him? Let's keep looking at this text and we'll see. Go to verses 4 through 9.
All right.
It says, "In him was life,
In him was life,
and the light was the light of men. The light shineth in darkness,
All right.
and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God whose name was John.
All right.
The same of that light.
Yeah.
That was the true light that would which lighted every man that cometh into the world.
Yeah.
So right here it tells us that another name for the Son of God is the light.
All right.
It also tells us that the light shines in darkness.
Yeah.
And the darkness comprehended it not.
All right.
The word comprehend in the Greek is katalabano,
All right.
which means to seize or attain,
Yeah.
possess or come upon or apprehend. So the text is saying the light shines in darkness,
Yeah.
and darkness could not seize this light.
All right.
It could not apprehend this light. It could not overtake this light.
All right.
Now let's go to the Old Testament in the first chapter of Genesis.
All right.
And let's read verses 1 through 3. It says, in the beginning God created the heaven and earth.
Yeah.
And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep.
All right.
And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light.
Yeah.
And there was light.
All right.
So this is day one of creation. And since we know that the sun, moon, and stars wasn't created until the fourth day, we just went over this in Sunday school about a month ago. So we know that the sun, moon, and stars wasn't created until the fourth day.
All right.
What light was God talking about?
All right.
In Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 to 16, it says, and God said, let there be lights, plural, in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth.
All right.
And it was so. And God made two great lights.
Yeah.
The greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night.
Yeah.
He made the stars also. If these lights wasn't made until the fourth day, what light could God have been talking about?
All right. Let's see.
I only know of one light that was with God in the beginning.
All right.
And that light was the sun with the O, not a U. I'm talking about the Son of God. In verse 2 of Genesis 1 it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep.
All right.
This word darkness in the text, in the Hebrew, is hoshek, which is translated as misery, or destruction, death, ignorance, sorrow, or wickedness.
All right.
There's only one light that I know of that couldn't be overtaken by these things.
All right.
There's only one light that I know of that you need during sorrow or heartache and pain when people around you are wicked. There's only one light I know of that you need to call upon.
All right.
And that light is the Son of God.
All right.
The most popular name we know for the Son of God is Jesus.
All right.
Everyone knows the name Jesus, but how many of us actually know Jesus?
Yeah.
If you notice, this text is referring to him, it's not referring to him as Jesus.
All right.
That's because Jesus is his earthly name.
All right.
And since the text is speaking prior to him in the flesh, on earth, you don't see the name Jesus.
All right.
This is why you see the name, the Word, or the light. When I was just a young boy, about 18 or 19 years old, I worked at Alex Home Medical.
All right.
And I would deliver hospital beds or oxygen tanks, wheelchairs, things like that to patients.
All right.
But one day I got an order to deliver a light to a patient.
All right.
They called it a happy light. This patient was fighting depression. He had just lost his mother and he was deeply depressed. So this doctor gave him a prescription, among other things, to sit under a light for a couple hours out of the day.
All right.
When I got to this patient's house, it was closed up and dark inside. I knocked on the door and the man answered and it looked like he had been crying.
All right.
My job was just to set this light up and explain it to the patient how it operated.
All right.
The bulb on this lamp was very bright. It was like 3 or 4 times brighter than your normal light bulb.
All right.
And the light was supposed to bring comfort to this man.
Yeah.
It was supposed to help him with depression and get him back on his feet.
Yeah.
It was supposed to heal his pain.
Yeah.
Right.
You see, the world will give you an invitation and charge you for what already been paid for and expect you to heal you. Well, I come to tell you that it wasn't about a week later when we got a call saying that the light didn't work. We could come back and pick it up. Because the patient had committed suicide. like there was a Holy Bible. And I couldn't help but thinking if he would have just picked up this Bible and opened it, the light that would have shined out of that Bible would have healed all pain. It would have wiped away his tears. It would have healed his heartache. And his family wouldn't have been preparing another funeral.
All right.
And since we know that the Son of God was with God, the Father in the beginning, we know that there wasn't a time that the Son didn't exist.
All right.
So that means he was with us at our beginning as well.
Yes, sir.
He was with us when we were born, and he is with us now.
Yeah.
So when people say that was before Jesus stepped in my life, they're not biblically correct. Because Jesus was there from the beginning. If there was ever a separation from Jesus, it was because you walked away, not because Jesus wasn't there for you. He's there through your good times, and he's there for your bad times. Matter of fact, I can't think of a better time you need Jesus when you're going through some trials, or when you're fighting these demons, when you can't stop fornicating, or you can't stop drinking, or you keep gambling away all your bill money. Or even when your faith is tested because you're looking for the answers that you're not getting.
Yeah.
So the first thing in this text we see is creation.
But
But now we see liberation.
liberation.
So we have a creator in Jesus.
Yeah.
And we also have a liberator in
Liberator.
Jesus.
Yes, sir.
The text says he came.
He came.
Liberation, which is the act of setting someone free from imprisonment,
Yeah.
slavery, or oppression.
Yeah.
Since we had become prisoners of sin, Jesus came to break the power of sin.
All right.
The one sin Adam committed brought death to all, but Jesus came to give salvation.
Yeah.
John 3:16 and 17 says, "For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved."
Yeah.
Jesus transcended, which means he transformed into man and descended down to earth, because only man can liberate man. No animal can take on this task.
All right.
We needed the precious Lamb of God.
Yeah.
You see, before Jesus stepped on the scene, everyone that died went to hell.
All right.
Nobody was qualified for heaven. If you sinned, you automatically was disqualified from glory.
Lord Jesus.
So God sent his Son, and he was willing when it was time to liberate and come in the form of man, but still remain God.
Yeah.
Jesus traveled down 42 generations, was born to a Virgin Mary in a small town called Bethlehem.
All right.
And the people of this town were so busy, and the ends were all booked up, they couldn't find time or place for their Savior. So he was born in a manger. He came to get us back in fellowship with the Father. He came so that we might have a right to the tree of life. He came so that we didn't have to suffer death everlasting. He came to give everlasting life.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
All right.
Amen.
What's your name? What's your name?
So Jesus gave up his hometown and glory to
Yes,
become a
sir.
stranger
Yes,
on
sir.
earth.
Yeah.
He gave up praises from angels to be cursed and ridiculed by man.
All right.
He gave up his seat next to God the Father to come to this low land of sorrow.
All right.
He took upon himself a form of a servant for us. He left a place where there was no hurt, no pain, or no death, no tears, no sorrow, to be pain capable
All right.
and death eligible,
Yes, sir.
just to save our souls.
Lord Jesus.
So that we could be eligible to go to that very place he descended from.
All right.
But what are we prisoners of?
Well,
Some are liars, some cheaters, some drunks, some drug addicts, some lust after money. What has you bound and shackled? Whatever it is, I come to tell you that Jesus came to set you free. No longer do you have to be a prisoner of the bottle. No longer do you have to be a prisoner of that no good man that refused to marry you. No longer do you have to stress out and go to the weed man to get high. I come to tell you Jesus came to free you of those desires. All you have to do is accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He'll wash away your sin. He'll make you whole. He'll give you life everlasting.
yes, sir.
Preach it, Doc.
Yes, sir.
So first in this text we had creation.
Creation.
Then we have liberation.
Liberation.
But next we have rejection.
Rejection.
So we have a creator in Jesus.
All right.
Then we have a liberator in Jesus.
Yeah.
But we still reject him.
Still rejection.
So Jesus created us, and then after we messed up the world that he had created perfectly,
Yeah.
and fell into bondage of sin, he came to free us from the bondage we were in.
Yeah.
And some of us still reject him.
All right.
The text says he came unto his own,
Came into his own.
and his own received him not.
Received him not.
So Jesus went to the very place God promised Israel, and the Israelites didn't even recognize their blessing.
All right.
They didn't even recognize their Savior. So Jesus went to his very own land and his very own people, and they didn't receive him. The very people that should have recognized him turned their heads away.
All right.
And laughed and mocked him. They thought it was funny to hear this man say he was the Son of God.
All right.
They ridiculed him and they accused him of evil. And all Jesus was trying to do was deliver salvation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They had been waiting for the Messiah, had been praying for him, and he came and they did not accept him.
All right.
So how many of us have been praying for something from
Lord
God?
Jesus. Lord Jesus.
And when it finally comes, we reject it.
Yeah.
How many women in here have been praying for a husband, but when he comes, you say he wasn't dark enough, or he wasn't tall enough, or his bank account wasn't big enough. Now you're still sitting around looking for a man. Or you're chasing after a no good man that never had any intentions of marrying you in the first place.
All right.
How many of us has asked for a job and the Lord blessed you with a job and you think you're too cool to do the job?
All right.
They ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. I came here looking for a job. I'll leave here looking for one.
All right.
But wait a minute. Didn't you ask God for this specific job?
All right.
But now you're ready to turn your back on it. Or how many of us are the people that text is talking about?
All right.
How many people here are rejecting Jesus Christ? How many people would rather go out and fornicate or go out and get drunk, party, and do drugs? How many people hear his word about pleasing self? How many people rather hit the boat on Sundays than come and worship? How many people rather argue and fight with their husband and wife than love the blessing that you have? How many of us are in here?
Yes, sir.
So I've summed up three things in this text that shows three things, Doc. I summed up three things in this text that shows the goodness of Jesus. First, we have creation.
Creation.
Then there is liberation.
Liberation.
Then we see rejection.
Rejection.
And you might be asking me, how is rejection showing the goodness of Jesus?
All right.
Well, I come to tell you, even though Jesus was rejected, he still went to the cross.
All right.
There was still crucifixion. Even though they rejected Jesus, he still gave them an opportunity to have everlasting life. You see, Jesus gave his hands to the nails, and Jesus gave his feet to the spike, Jesus gave his side to the spear, and Jesus gave his soul back to his Father, and then Jesus gave eternal life to everybody that believes. So I'm talking about Jesus, the lily in the valley, the bright morning star. I'm talking about Jesus, the light and the truth. I'm talking about Jesus, the Word and the Messiah. I'm talking about Jesus, the one that hung and bled and died for me. I'm talking about Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Wasn't that good? Wasn't that delightful? Amen. We had creation. Amen. We had liberation. And then in spite of rejection, he still went to the cross for us. What a friend we have in Jesus. Come on, let's give the Lord a hand clap of praise. Amen, amen. And I rose to extend you an invitation. You can come by letter, Christian experience, or a candidate for baptism, but whatever way would you come Is there